Hi everyone, it's Nisha. So today I wanted to share with you my new eyebrow routine. We know how we feel here about eyebrows. So I obviously have eyebrows. They are quite dark, but they are very, very thin. And this is due to me over-plucking them when I was much younger. When I'm talking about thin, I'm not talking about sparse, because what I've got is not sparse, it's just fine. I wouldn't even have to fill this in, apart from the tails. Like here I've got a bit missing because as a child I had an accident and I had it stitched up, so my hair doesn't grow here, and this is just basically over-plucked. So I still get hairs growing under here, but it's just like 1 or 3. I cannot ever grow eyebrow that is wider. That's what I mean. So I already have a eyebrow routine. My previous eyebrow routine always linked in my description box after every video, and I basically used to use just pencil and setting gel, nothing else. And as you know, I have bought recently the Nyx, what are they called? Lift and Snatch brow tint pens. So these are those type of felt tip pens, and I have tried plenty of those, believe me. The MAC, the Urban Decay, there was one from Benefit with the 3 prongs, and I could never get on with them. And the worst thing was to match color. So I think I found good color. I've got 2 because I use a bit lighter one at the front and darker here. I think I could maybe go for even lighter one at the front, but the tone of them matches my eyebrows, so that's a good thing. They are not easy to use. It takes some practice and steady hand, but I'm not saying that this is going to be perfect, but that's how I've been doing my brows lately. And I must say I prefer a bit to the pencil, because with the pencil I basically draw line underneath, then just filled it in. With this you can draw individual hair strokes and it looks a bit more natural, I think. The problem was, actually let me zoom you in, this will be much easier to explain. So let's have a good look at my brows. As you can see, what I've got, it's pretty good. I mean, I don't feel my brows are sparse. I've got few grays in here, but other than that, if they were just wider, I wouldn't have to do anything to those brows. Maybe just run some gel through them. But they are very thin, and I don't know, I feel like thin eyebrows are quite aging, just don't look right. Also, because I have such a big area between my eyelashes and eyebrows, and when I talk I lift my eyebrows like this, I feel it just looks a bit odd. So my aim is to make this brow wider. So obviously with the pen I'm aiming at drawing hair strokes underneath, but you need this line so they are sort of growing out in a straight line. Do you know what I mean? That I don't have one here, then one goes a bit lower, and that's the most difficult thing. So what I've been doing, I still take my pencil. I use so many different pencils. I think these micro pencils, all of them are good. I use a lot of drugstore one. This one isn't. This one is Delilah, and I think this one is in ash. Yeah, this one is in ash. I like this one just because the color is so good. So what I do, I draw a line, straight line, very lightly, here where my brow starts, and then I follow it, but much lower than my eyebrows are. Can you see? Follow to my arch and go down. And this is like my template now for the pens, so I know not to go below this line. But can you see I have now this gap? So before, what I would do, I just go like this with the pencil and fill it up a bit, and it looks fine, but still doesn't look as natural. So once I've got this line, I take first, I have this in ash brown and taupe, and the ash brown is darker, I think, than taupe. Let's just make sure. There isn't much actually to it. They look pretty similar. Oh my god, they almost look identical. Maybe that's why I thought I need lighter one on at the front. So anyway, I'm gonna start with the ash brown. I shake it a bit so the ink comes down to the tip. To make your arm steady, I have this hand under my elbow to make it a bit higher, and I rest it on the table, and I start from here. I do the front at the end, and I start from that line upwards, drawing these strokes and sort of follow the direction in which the hair grows. And I keep doing that in between the ones that I've just made. Okay, can you see? And then I will take the other one and do the front. And in here I only need few Can you see what I'm doing? And that's that. And I will wait for it to settle a bit, and then I will set it with the Benefit 24-hour gel. And after that is set, I see if I can still notice any gaps, and I will go over with the pen again. So can you see it looks a bit more natural because these strokes look like hair, whereas pencil is just a solid line. And I know you can buy these pencils that have just like this triangular tip that you're supposed to be able to do that with. I could never do that. So now I'm just going lightly brush through that, and then I will use the gel. I love using the gel because can you see it separates your hair, so you see every single hair, and that makes it even more natural. And I'm not shy with this gel. I go over a few times. This gel is like my favorite. I've tried to find something cheaper that was as good, but I still can't. What I forgot to tell you is, obviously, before you even start all this, you should make sure that your eyebrows are waxed or plucked, that this skin under here is quite smooth, that you don't have, you know, sometimes we have that fluffy hair, the hair that we get here on our lower face, and that will sort of hinder your job because the pencil might slip on it, might not go smoothly, so you should do that first. If you actually watch my old routine, I talk about the preparing of the brow. And also, if you're doing your brow like me after I've put foundation on, make sure that you really powder your brows so they are not greasy, you know, from the foundation, from your skincare, because then whatever product you put on it is not going to stay and it's going to slide around. So you see, now I've done that. So I brush my hair at the front upwards and then slightly at the angle here. And I can see some gaps. So once this is set, I will fill those gaps and that's it. And I found it pretty easy. The first time it was, I couldn't get my arm steady, and also I couldn't do them straight, but when I started using this first as a template, it made it all so much easier. Okay, I am going to fill in a bit more. I like that sort of bushy look. I'm only using the tip of it and I'm hardly pressing, because if you press quite hard then the line, the stroke will be much thicker. So yeah, I think that's it. So compare the brows now. As you can see, my own brows are quite dark. Now, if you have some grays in it, what I used to do when I was doing just the pencil, I would use colored brown gel before I started doing anything. So, you know, I really love the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brow, and I can't remember now the color I use it in. Or I have this Delilah brow shape, and what color is this in? Sable. So if you have some gray hairs, use this first, because that will cover the grays. And I still sometimes do it, but I've noticed that I don't really need to use this. I do have maybe like 2 gray hairs on this eyebrow and couple on this one, so I don't have that many grays yet. But yeah, that's one thing you can do. So can you see how I've got hair completely missing here? Well, I've got like 2 hairs here right on the end, and I have a gap. The biggest problem I have, can you see if I lift my eyebrows, I have these wrinkles that go like this because I've got very arched eyebrows, and I get this line right here where my eyebrow tail should be. So this is making it a bit difficult. So when I lift my eyebrows, then when I do them, I have to go like this so the wrinkle is not there to draw the hairs. It's quite challenging, but I think, I know it's not perfect, but I think this looks pretty good. So let me do this one. I find this one so much more difficult because obviously I have to cross my arm now across my chest, and especially if you're quite well endowed in that area, this is quite challenging. So I have to completely change the angle, the way I sit and do it. So I will just do that one and I will come back. So I am really happy with it. I really prefer it to the way I used to do it. So yeah, try it. Obviously you can see, like, I think this eyebrow is a bit lower naturally than this one, and I'm not trying to change them completely so they are completely perfect. What do they say? Eyebrows are sisters, not twins, or something like that. So yeah, I still want them to look quite natural. So anyway, I am so happy with these pencils, and again, I can't remember your name, but one of you recommended these pens to me. So I thought, let me try it for the last time, and I'm so pleased I did, because I really like my brows now. I just think I'm gonna get the lightest one, lighter than Taupe, for the front, because I still would like the front to be a bit lighter. Your brows are never as thick at the front as they are towards the end of the tail. Well, maybe they are, I don't know, but you know what I mean. Okay, my lovelies, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and stay fabulous. Bye.